Hi, so we're looking at important verbal topics and strategy regarding NMAT. As far as among all the sections concerned, NMAT becomes verbal section becomes an important section to plan and strategize. One is because the time is less, there are only 28 minutes as compared to 40 minutes in logic and 52 minutes in quant. Apart from that, what happens is most of the quant question or the logic questions have uniform time limit. For example, logic can break it up into the critical reasoning part and other logic questions. Same way, max is almost DI and the other max questions. But as far as verbal goes, the reading comprehension and parajumbles are two areas which takes a long time, whereas the other questions which are there takes a shorter time. So technically, you should not leave these questions because they don't take too much time. You should not leave it. Okay, that means your planning has to be, even if you're planning to leave, you should leave among these 16 questions, whatever you go leave. Okay, so that means you need to be able to complete 36 questions in 28 minutes. But if you're finding it short for whatever reason, because you're not fast enough to solve, okay, remember that you will leave either maybe one or two RCs or maybe you leave parajumbles. Okay, because it takes more time to solve these questions, whereas it takes lesser time to solve analogies, etc. I mean, you can go really fast in analogies, fill in the blanks, error identification, and preparations. They can be solved faster. Also, plan your paper, very important. You should know how much time you take to solve one RC, how much time you take to solve one parajumbles, and so on. And see total time that you take to solve all the questions. Okay, that's how you go. Once you know, then you know how much extra time you take and what you need to leave. So if you feel that you're taking too much extra time on reading comprehension, you can leave. One strategy that you can solve for reading comprehension, because suppose you feel that there is one reading comprehension I'm taking extra time. So in that case, maybe if one of reading comprehension, you can just read the first para or first few lines, last few lines to understand the whole passage, just the central idea, and then try to solve. Sometimes it works where your answers are based on a central idea of the passage, sometimes it doesn't. But yes, if you feel it's too complicated and too time consuming to solve all the RCs, 3 RCs, maybe one of RCs, or maybe even 2 RCs, you can just read the first para, last para, and mark the answers and move forward. Try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, move back to your normal strategy. Again, experiment with regards to this one. You know where the RC comes. Normally, the RC comes in the first 20 questions. You will have all the 3 RCs which are there out of the 36 questions. So you will have fair idea where the RC comes. And then accordingly you can plan your paper. Planning of paper becomes very important. Look, understand, in maybe the logic section or maybe in the max section, I can say that, oh, you have to solve 9 questions in 13 minutes in max. I can't do that for maybe the verbal, because the RC can come anywhere. But as far as I've seen, RC comes somewhere in the middle. Okay, after the first few questions, you normally have 2 RCs in continuation, and after 1 or 2 questions, you still have 1 more RC which is there. So you can accordingly plan as to how much time it takes and whether you are within your time limit of solving. Important to know the time. Remember, you can't leave a question and come back to it. So you have to decide then and there whether to solve or not. Also remember, you can't waste too much time thinking on a question and then leaving it, because that time wasted out there could have been used to solve some other questions. So if you're leaving it, leave quickly a tough question which is there, and so that you can solve as many questions as possible. Important to plan, important to strategize before you go for the exam. Thank you.